So much love and appreciation to those of you who have been with me for the 2 year period plus that I've been doing this. Thank you for showing your love and support to the channel. And to anybody else who is brand new to the platform and you would like to support the channel, also you can do it by way of Patreon, Anchor, the clothing store, and also the shoe shop that is listed in the comment description below. And again, thank you to any and all of you guys who have been here to support this channel during the 2+ year period. I wouldn't be able to do what I do every single day without you. A group of Boy Scouts discovered a police department just outside of Detroit using images of black men in hoodies and backwards cap holding weapons as shooting practice targets. The Boy Scout troop spotted the targets, and some of them pierced with bullet holes when it was touring the headquarters of Farmington Hills Police Department in April. In one photo from the tour, 6 white scouts are looking at the targets with the same images of black men with a menacing look and pointing guns, while a black Boy Scout stands behind them. An unidentified person who attended the visit responded by attorney, quote, "When those children were exposed to those images, to me, it was the potential detrimental effects on how they would view black men and black people that was indescribable. It's literally profiling for the black man. You've got young police officers, and this is what they're being trained on." The targets, which have been since removed, are now the subject of legal review for Mayor Vicky Barnett. Meeting, Farmington Police Chief Jeff King apologized by saying, quote, "I'll take this one on the chin. I apologize to each and every person in this room, this community, my department, my city council, my city manager. I can't overlook this." He also stated at the meeting that the images were purchased but didn't say where they were from or if they are of actual people. But King stated that the use of the images of black men was taken out of context. Quote, "A diverse group of targets were on display the day that the tour, not just targets featuring black people. Unfortunately, this is not accurately depicted in the photographs, as the photographs only depict a small area of the department's firing range and a select number of the targets that were present and presented and discussed during the tour group." He also stated that the department uses images of dozens of different people, 10 of whom are white and 2 that are black, in line with Michigan's Commissions on Law Enforcement Standards, as well as the city's demographics. Farmington Hills is 18.5% black and 62% white. Assistant Chief John Piggott stated that officers normally train on silhouettes and bullseyes when measuring accuracy and only use images of people once they start training officers on threat assessment. While the default targets are all holding weapons, their hands can be swapped out to hold a beer can, a cell phone, or nothing at all. Quote, "Because now it's not a question of whether or not the officer can hit the target. The question is now whether or not the thing that they're looking at is a danger to them or not." However, the explanation does not change the fact that the black men were primarily present as targets the day that the kids got to see the shooting gallery. Quote, "This is not acceptable. You do not want your children to just start off hating black men." This wasn't the first time that the department has been under scrutiny for the targets it used for shooting practice. Last July, the Michigan American Civil Liberties Union filed a Freedom of Information request asking the police department to disclose images of, quote, "any gun range targets used by the police department from January of 2020. The organization received images of other non-black targets that were not on display at the time of the Boy Scouts tour. I mean, let's be real. They got to teach them while they're young, right? While they're impressionable and you can mold their minds any different type of way. These are the real images that America would love that their kids see of black men. They don't want to see them as anything positive, anything to glamorize or idolize or to see as a positive type of thing that could potentially enable and empower not only just black people in the community, but other people as well, due to the fact of their masculinity. That's basically what this is. They want to assassinate the image of a black man. They want to assassinate the masculinity that is there by using the representation of the few black men that they have, or these few images of black men that they have. Amazingly enough, since the overwhelming majority of Farmington is Caucasian, you would expect way more images to be of their own people, but that's not what they wanted to do. They want to make it seem as though that the main people who are perpetrating or doing these crimes are you know who. This is another way of indoctrination of those young men in the police department who come there to protect and serve and to swear on oath that they're going to, help out or do whatever it is that they do, right? Supposedly. But once you start giving them images of people that don't look like them, they're going to see them less and less and less and less and less like human beings. So again, this is what this is about. This is indoctrination. This is that brainwashing that America has always used in order to criminalize and objectify black men in a negative light, in order to give a justification as to why it is that they feel a certain type of way about black men, why it is that they are able to take the lives of black men as frequently and as quick, why, without any type of remorse or without any type of emotion. That's because they're dealing with images of people who don't look anything like them. So because they can disassociate themselves from that image and know the fact that they're not harming themselves, they're not harming somebody that looks like them, they're not harming a coworker, a family member, a child, because they know that it's not of them, it's a lot easier for them to take the lives of somebody else because that image is not reflective. Because we all know at the end of the day, just by looking at some of the mass shooters out here, that the police have been reluctant in actually taking the lives of those mass shooters. But if the so-called mass shooter just so quote unquote happens to look African American, they're calling in the SWAT team, they're calling in the FBI, Interpol, the CIA, the FBI, they're calling in everybody. And then just to make sure that they even have everything completely covered, because magically one black man will sit up there and turn into 20, they're going to sit up there and call the Justice League. They're going to call the Avengers. They're going to call X-Men. They're going to call Power Rangers. They're going to call the big bad Beetleborgs. They're going to call everybody that they could potentially get in every single universe or multiverse just to handle this one black man and to take him out with 60 bullets. But when it comes to one of their own taking the lives of other people who are not of their community, all right, son, let me talk you down. I want you to put down this weapon. And what we're going to do, what me and my officers are going to do, we assure you that we are going to put down our weapons, that we will not harm you, that the same way that you are right now, that is the same exact way that you're going to come back to the precinct. And better yet, if you did a good enough job, we might take you to Burger King or Chick-fil-A. That's what they do. They've shown this time and 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 time again. This is America. For anybody to try to, at this moment in time in the comment section, state that America is not racist, you're racist. That's the only way that I can sit up and put it. You're racist at the end of the day because you refuse to acknowledge America's history and the fact that America and its laws have been built off of racist practices, past, present, and future. And those things will never change because the ruling class, quote unquote, the ruling class, who stole all of their power, their resources, their land, all of these things, they don't want to give up everything that they have. They already have a loose grip as it is because of their population is dwindling, because of the lack of birthing of their own people, and due to the fact of other factors, various factors dealing with health and also including the sun, which further leads to a population decline. So at this moment in time, they would never, ever release any of the power that they hold, that they still got in their dead fist, in order to make things how they should be. Right, which is even. They don't believe in even. This is when people want to come up with the, oh, just pull yourselves up by your bootstraps and, just work on it like everybody else in America had to. Y'all ain't work on nothing. Y'all came over here and y'all stole everything. And then from the people that you stole it from, that welcomed you here with open arms and that taught you about the land and taught you how to survive, basically allowed you to survive, the thanks that you gave them was by taking them out, pretty much putting them into extinction at this moment in time. But Remember, y'all keep saying that y'all did it all by yourselves. Y'all pulled yourselves up by y'all bootstraps, and everybody else needs to do the exact same thing. Well, if we're going to go by this historically, if people are to follow your exact narrative, then it would be a whole different story in America at this moment in time. America wouldn't even look like how it is at this moment. But that's not what you want. And this is clear cut the reason why you don't want to teach critical race theory. You don't want to teach the actual truth to your kids, because the moment in time that you do, your kids are going to start looking at you sideways. They're going to start looking at you like the liars and the fabricators that you are, like the ghosts that you are, because that's all you are. That's all you are. Robbers, thieves, and murderers. But yet you want to sit up there and try to paint the narrative of black people being America's most wanted. Out of everything that you've done in America and across the world, magically black men are America's most wanted. And now you're trying to make the world make it seem as though black men are the world's most wanted as well. Craziness. But this is what happens when you don't teach the proper history.